I am so pissed again at Joel Embiid, Doc Rivers, and James Harden and the 76ers for losing, choking away a 3-2 series lead against these fucking bozos. And I say that sort of hating because of course, the Sixers lost last series, but what the fuck was that showing tonight from Boston, man? That was pathetic at every single level. After the Game 2 win on the road from the Heat, I made a video and I said the series was over basically, but I did not expect the Celtics to get run out of the gym like this. I don't even know how long this video is going to be because there's really not a lot to say other than praising the Miami Heat. Whenever they get a 15-point lead, it just seems like they play harder. The Celtics just looked stuck in the mud. Joe Mazzulla late with the timeouts. Still letting Derrick White get abused by Jimmy Butler. The Celtics defense just allowing dribble penetration the entire game. Duncan Robinson was blowing by people. One particular in Grant Williams, he ran a pick and roll with Bam Adebayo and threw a lob over Al Horford's head. The Heat were making threes. Gabe Vincent was on fire. Duncan Robinson, like I mentioned, was still getting backdoor cuts too. And Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown played like absolute trash in this game with turnovers, missed threes. They had open threes in this game and the misses weren't even close. Marcus Smart getting a tech for whatever reason, and that was kind of emblematic of the whole game. Yeah, the refs were terrible, but it's not the refs' fault that the Celtics went down by 10 in the first quarter immediately. I mean, Joe Mazzulla had to call a challenge early in the game, and I thought it was a bad challenge at the time, but it ended up being a good challenge. Robert Williams got the and one bucket, but he probably called that challenge just to try to stop the momentum. And then, of course, he attempted not to stop the momentum by calling a timeout 4 possessions too late in the third quarter and late in the second quarter. Just an awful, pathetic showing from the Celtics. They should be embarrassed. Erik Spoelstra is coaching circles around Joe Mazzulla. This is a mismatch. It is a brutal beatdown. And look, as a Sixer fan, I wanted the Nets so bad in the first round for this exact reason. The Heat are scary. I've been wrong about the Heat for 2 years now, 2 years running. When you have Erik Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler, it doesn't matter who you have around them, because in the 2020 bubble, I thought the Heat had a stronger team, and then last year they had the 1 seed and I wasn't convinced of their half-court offense, and Jimmy Butler turned it up in the playoffs. Erik Spoelstra, like he does all regular season, turned it up in the playoffs last year. And then this year they look dead in the water. And then all of a sudden, the Heat just turn it up. And they are taking it to the Celtics. It's not even all the undrafted players, which was a storyline that keeps getting pounded over and over again in the series by TNT. But they're just flat out good players. Caleb Martin's on fire in this series. He's playing good defense on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as well. Jimmy Butler didn't even need to have a great game. And what was it? Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo had 17 points combined at halftime, and they were up by 15 at that point. Early in the fourth quarter, Duncan Robinson and Cody Zeller ran a pick and roll, and they scored. It was just a pathetic effort from the Celtics all around. They should be embarrassed. As a Sixer fan, I'm just laughing my ass off and also retroactively pissed at my team for losing this last series against the Celtics. But man, I was so wrong about this series. I thought the Celtics were going to win in 6. I was even contemplating 5, but that's disrespectful. I was wrong. I mean, damn. This isn't even a contest. This is a beatdown. This game was a beatdown. I thought the Celtics would come out with more energy, more urgency. The defense was just lackadaisical. Malcolm Brogdon on one play closed out on, Malcolm Brogdon closed out on Caleb Martin in the second quarter in one game, and it was the slowest closeout ever, and the Heat scored off of that. Grant Williams letting Duncan Robinson dust him for a layup. Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry just attacking Al Horford's deep drop. Celtics switching everything on the perimeter and just giving the switch up and letting Jimmy Butler fry Derrick White over and over again. And it wasn't as prominent tonight because, the Heat were just, everybody played well for the Heat. But a theme this whole series has been Jimmy Butler just roasting the shit out of Derrick White. No changes. It's just, man, I did not expect both conference finals to be 3-0. And honestly, with the way the Celtics looked tonight, with the way their body language was once they got down 10 and then the onslaught started happening with no urgency, bad shots, I don't see how they're making it back to a Game 5 in Boston. We really might have 2 sweeps in the conference finals, and I heard on the broadcast that that's never happened before. But one thing is for certain, because I saw one tweet from, on Twitter, and I think it was from a YouTuber, but he basically poked fun at the fact that the NBA wouldn't like a Nuggets-Heat finals. Give me Nuggets-Heat finals because, 1, I'm a basketball fan, but 2, that's going to be a way better matchup than watching whatever the hell the Lakers are and this pathetic team. Because this Celtics team plays dumb basketball. And Sixers Celtics last series was really a series about which team could play the least dumb basketball. And both teams tried their damnness to lose that series, and the Sixers ultimately did. But I don't want to see this Celtics team in the finals, not against the Nuggets. The Nuggets will sweep the Celtics. Heat Nuggets is going to be an awesome finals. And yeah, I'm already looking ahead because there's no way these two teams are coming back. But man, that's 2 of the best records in the NBA. 2 of the best records in the NBA. And in these playoffs, the Miami Heat have snatched the soul and heart from both of those teams. Jimmy Butler does not forget shit. Remembered Al Horford memed calling a timeout, pantomimed calling a timeout in game 1 when the Celtics were on a run. Jimmy did not forget that shit when the Heat went up by over 20. Jimmy Butler went right up to Al Horford's face, called a timeout, or pantomimed calling a timeout as Joe Mazzulla called a timeout, and Al Horford got pissed. The Heat just, man, this was a beatdown.